Okay, right, so this is my first video I'm taking of doing some Yin Yoga, and I'm doing this this morning because someone I know is out gardening and during this lockdown, and I know they will need some Yin Yoga, especially for their lower back when they come in. So it is important, if you've been doing something like gardening, that you give your muscles time to relax and to cool down, because Yin Yoga is done with cold muscles. So wait a few hours until your muscles are nice and cold again before you begin this deep stretching. We will be doing some gentle deep stretching into the joints, and you will feel a sort of like an achy feeling as you go in. So if you're feeling it, you are doing it. So our first step is to get into the shape of the pose, which I will be showing you. The second step is to totally relax your body. So the first step, coming into the shape of the pose and coming to what we call our edge. And our edge is where we begin to feel that little bit of an achy feeling, like we are going in, we are stretching. So once you feel that achy feeling, it's like about a 3.5 out of 10. If you were to say 0 was no pain and 10 was a lot of pain, we are talking about a 3, 3.5. So we do a little bit of playing that edge. So if you find it's going a little too deep, where it's going up to a 4 or 4.5, just pulling back a little bit, or even coming out of the pose sooner. I will be only holding these shapes for just a couple of minutes, because this is very much for a beginner. So we're going to start with our very first shape, where we are going to lie on our stomach. And so coming down onto our tummy, and excuse me, that's my dog barking at the birds. Carla, come here. Okay, so this is our first shape. So you're just relaxing your lower body, relaxing your legs and your feet, and just sitting up on your elbows. So here you will begin to feel most likely a little ache down around here, and the whole thing is that you relax your body, you totally relax in this shape, feeling, just taking that deep breath. The noise you can feel it here in the background here is the waves. So maybe just imagining that your breath is like that wave. So just totally relaxing the in-breath and the out-breath. And this is where we hold it for a couple of minutes. And it is in this time, as we relax, that it goes deeply into the joints, into the deep connective tissue, where it mildly stretches it, mildly stresses it. And this pose in yoga is known as the Sphinx Pose. And it is fantastic for your back and spine, because normally we are usually bent the other direction. So it is stretching your spine in a different direction. Very gently, just moving down onto the ground very slowly. We always come out of our poses in Yin very slowly, and just relaxing there for a moment or two. onto your hands and knees, and bring the knees wide apart. You can bring the feet a little bit closer together, and stretching out your hands now and coming down into child's pose, but with a nice stretch. And here the area we're stretching is across here and also the groin. So you're bringing your feet close together at the back and your knees nice and wide. And possibly you will be feeling this stretch in the groin quite a bit. If you're feeling too much, bring the knees closer together. If you're not feeling enough, bring the knees wider apart. So coming up, bringing the knees back together. And now for our next pose, we're going to come forward with the right knee. This is known as swan, and bringing back your left leg. And for this, you might be handy to have a towel or a cushion, and you can put this under the right buttock, just onto the top of the thigh if you're quite high up off the ground. And then just coming down and relaxing in this pose. Now, if you have any bit of an ache in your knee, you must move into a slightly different shape. So this would be the first option, and it's quite a wide hip opener. It's really good for opening and releasing the hips. But if your knee is hurting you, any ache at all, come right down onto that buttock, onto the side of the hip, and bend this leg up. And this is known as collapsed swan. So here is where we are bending over this front leg and coming down. And so where we want to feel this stretch here is in this right hip. So we're coming down, so just adjust it. It's not about having your shape exactly like mine, it is about where you're feeling the stretch. So we're aiming to feel the stretch here in this right hip. So coming down over this part of the leg roughly and relaxing down. It's in the relaxation of the muscles that you get into the joints. You get into the very deep connective tissue. So as you come down into a new shape, always just take that deep breath in and relax. If you're making any deep breaths like puffing or going ouch, then it's too much. If it's too much, just pull back and adjust it to where it's about that 3.5 ache. So this is the second option. And going back in again, the first one is this. And you can do it without a support at the hip. I will show you what it looks like with the other leg. With the other leg, this is what it looks like. So you can do it just feeling that nice stretch here, or if it's too much, if it's feeling too much, just having that towel or a cushion, putting it in here and resting down on it. Taking that deep breath and relaxing. So Yin Yoga is quite a meditative yoga. You have this space and time where you are holding the shapes, and so you are letting time and you are letting gravity to really open up your body. It's where you're totally surrendering to that ache and relaxing your muscles, so that once your muscles are relaxed, then it can go deeper into the joint area to strengthen it, to lubricate it, to help with mobility. Coming back up and coming up into what we call downward dog. We are giving a little bit of yang movement here. Maybe swinging that leg, checking that knee, the one you were lying on. And now bringing the opposite leg forward, whichever leg you haven't been sitting on, and doing that same movement, that same shape, but coming down on the opposite hip. And checking out if you need that little bit of support or not. And it really is an opening. It is where you are putting pressure on these acupressure points in the body, and you will feel, as you come out of the shapes and you rest, you will feel the difference. You will feel that chi flowing differently in those points. So you can feel almost like you've had an acupuncture treatment, a session. You will be very conscious, most likely, of the chi, and it's almost like it's a little tap running in your body. It's quite unique. And you may find that as you relax more and more, and with time and gravity, that maybe it goes a little too deep for you. If that happens, where you find you're going over the 3.5, just adjusting yourself slightly. This is where you really are tuning into your body to feel where it is acceptable to do that deep stretch. And now once more, coming back up onto downward dog. Checking out that knee, making sure all is okay, and coming down. Okay, so we're going to finish with 2 other little stretches, and I do love these. These are 2 of my favorite stretches. So one is called the banana stretch. So we're making that shape of the banana. So you're going to lie down flat, and lifting up your hips, bring them over to the right side of the mat, bring your feet over to the left side of the mat, and bring your upper body over to the left side of the mat. And just do your stretch here, so it'll be all along the side here that you will feel the stretch. And if your shoulders are quite tight, you might find you can feel this quite a lot up here as well. So if you need to grab your towel or that to put your arms on, then just do that if it's sort of gone beyond the 3.5 with that stretch. And just again, just doing the stretch to about a 70%. Take a deep breath and relax. And again, just letting time and letting gravity to do its work for you. Just really tuning into your body and noticing what you're feeling. You should never feel any sort of pain that is like stabbing, burning, pins and needles, numbing, anything like that. You move out of that shape until it releases it. It's very much a time with Yin Yoga where you are tuning into your body. And this is how you protect your body in Yin Yoga. You keep tuned in, just noticing what's going on. And always when you're coming out of any shape, come at a snail's pace, literally a snail's pace. So coming out of this, first of all, bringing the arms down very slowly, bringing the legs back to the center of the mat, bringing the upper body back to the center, and relaxing there for a moment. In the distance, aside from this lockdown, I can hear some building still going on. There was a digger. That's the boat. Okay, so feet back up on the mat, lifting up your hips over to the left side of the mat, bringing your feet over to the right side, bringing your upper body over to the right side, and now relaxing, taking that nice deep breath, checking in, making sure that's not too much of a stretch, but it's enough that you are feeling it. If you are feeling it with Yin Yoga, you are doing it. So here, our place we're focusing on is all this side of the body. And Yin Yoga is a lovely time of contemplation because you are being quiet and you are being still. And just listening to the world go by around you. very slowly now, releasing your arms one at a time. Bringing your legs slowly back to center. And just doing any movement there that just makes you feel good. Just stretch out. For our last one, we're doing a nice spinal twist. This is one of my favorite shapes in Yin Yoga, or asanas they're called as well. So for this, turn completely onto your side. So over onto your left side or right side, whichever one, maybe the one facing the camera so you can see what I'm doing. So coming right over onto your side. Bringing your top arm back. You might want to rest it on something. And you can, if you wish, bring your lower hand down onto your knee. So here is where we can really feel a pull here too. If your shoulders are tight, this is a good one for the shoulders. If it's pulling too much, put something underneath that shoulder or arm to give it a little extra support so it's not going beyond that 3.5. And just try with the arm different places to rest it. You might put it down more, it might be up more. Just notice where your body is feeling that this is the right angle for you, where you are feeling that stretch, but it's not gone beyond that 3.5. So here you will feel it all across the chest area as well. So it's very good for your lymphatics, really good for that draining, this stretch. Take that deep breath in and relax your muscles. So once you get into each shape, get in the habit of scanning your body and just noticing where you may be holding on. So Yin Yoga is all about surrendering. It's about letting go. And it's in the relaxation of the muscles that you access the deep, deep connective tissue around your joints and bones. And remember, what we don't stretch, as we age, it just gets shorter and shorter, and that's why people move with such stiffness as they age, because all of these tendons and that deep connective tissue, because of lack of stretching and movement, is beginning to shorten. So what you're doing here is you are lengthening, you are opening, you are relaxing. So you may find that you'd like to turn your head towards your upper arm over in that direction or the opposite way. Just notice what feels right for your body. Very slowly coming out of this pose, bringing the upper arm back and just coming completely over onto that side and relaxing there for a moment or two. Take that deep breath. And now rolling over onto your back. And let's just rest here for a moment. And just feel that difference in the chi in your body, how it's flowing from these lovely deep stretches. Now turning over onto your opposite side. Bringing your upper arm back behind you. Have your rug or blanket or whatever it is there in case you need it under your shoulder or arm. And bring your lower hand over that knee if you wish, just to encourage this down. But maybe it's enough as it is already. Maybe it doesn't need any more encouragement. Maybe it's already at that 3.5 for you. And here now again, just taking that nice deep breath and relaxing the muscles. Your breathing should be normal and natural in Yin Yoga. If it's not, if you're holding your breath, if it's labored, then it could be it's too much. Maybe you've gone too far and maybe you relax the movement a bit more. Okay, so just finding that point in your body where you can feel it, but it's not too much. It's a mild to medium stretch. Again, just scanning your body, just noticing where you may be holding on in any of the muscle groups, any tension, and relaxing it. Very slowly now, just releasing your arm. Coming right over onto that side for a moment. And if you wish, have your little blanket to put your head on, if you wish. Over onto your back, and from here just doing any sort of a stretch that your body feels it wants, just tuning into your body, just noticing, does it want any other type of stretch? And if not, just relaxing down. You can either have your legs down or you can keep your knees bent and in together. Relaxing totally now and feeling the difference in the chi as it flows through your body. Feel that sense of relaxation. like me, you might find yawns coming up because your body is just letting go of any stress. And so I'm just ending this video now. I hope you've enjoyed these yoga exercises. It is important to drink water after Yin Yoga and not to do any other exercise that will warm up the muscles for a while. It is important to let your body rest. So, thank you for joining me here today, from Playa Blanca to wherever you are.